Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing a tutorial on how I do just a really basic simple manicure. While I do this manicure, I'm pretty much going to just do what I would normally do and just kind of talk y'all through it. The first thing I'm going to start off with is here on this nail. I don't know if you can see here, but I have a little bit of a crack, and so what I'm going to go ahead and do is repair that. And what I use to repair is I use these little silk wraps here, and I've already pre-cut my little piece of silk wrap, as well as I use some of this brush on resin glue. This is a little already old. It's kind of going to be thick, so it's going to take a little while for it to dry. So I'm going to start with this now, just so that way it gives me a little bit extra time to work on the rest of my nails while this is drying. All I do here is I just push it up a little and get some tweezers, pull that up, and then from there, just gonna, it has a self-adhesive to it. This is good because it prolongs the nail until it's at a suitable length to cut. So that's about good right now, just like that. Then from here, I'm gonna just take some of this glue. See here how it's really thick, really thick, but you just need a little bit just to kind of moisten it and get it down. Want to make sure that I cover the whole nail. It's going to take a while to dry. You can see it's very thick. Alright, well, that's good enough. So while that's drying, what I'm going to go ahead and do is prep the rest of my nails. And the way I'm going to do that is what I normally do. I'm going to start off with kind of getting my fingers cleaned up. I don't cut my cuticles. I don't like to cut my cuticles. I rather just push them back, which I'm going to be doing here in a second. But a little trick that a friend of mine showed me was when I have rough skin like I do here, and I tend to pick at my thumbs especially. I don't know, I guess it's just kind of easier. But one thing that I did learn from her that keeps it kind of flat and not so jagged, because I don't always get to put cream and moisturize my fingers as I should. So, but all I use is a file, and I just use that very gently, not on the coarse side, on the more finer side. And what I do is I just file my finger, basically, and that makes it kind of smooth. It's just like if you're buffing out your feet on a pedicure. It's pretty much the same idea. So I do that on all of my fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on all of my fingers, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and buffed out my skin, or filed it down to make it a little bit more smoother. Right now it kind of looks rough and rugged. Well, that'll all be fixed here in just a moment. The next thing that I do when I do my manicure is I use one of these little buffers. This is a very fine one, so you can get these almost anywhere. I get most of my supplies at Sally Beauty Supply. So this is one that I use, and I just lightly buff over my nails just to make them a little bit more smoother, and to kind of also take off a little of this staining that I have. I had a really dark polish on earlier this week, so this is going to help out a little bit. Sometimes I use this bubble white to go ahead and clean up my nails, but I really don't have time to do this right now. So, and they're not too bad, even though they may look bad, they're not horribly bad. So, all I do is just very lightly go over my nail. I try not to do too much. I don't want to make any grooves into my fingernails, especially here. If you do it too much here, as your nail grows out, you get ridges. So I just do it very lightly, just about like that. Makes it like a matte finish. I'm going to do all my nails except for my middle nail because this is still trying to dry, this glue here, so I'm just going to skip that nail for now. I just completely touched that and ruined it while it's still drying. It'll be alright. Okay, so as I was buffing out my nails, this almost always happens to me. A cuticle wants to come up right there. So of course I don't pull it. That would be bad. It would start bleeding and getting all gross all over the place. But that always happens to me. So what I do is I just get some nail clippers and just clip that right off. And that's it. Because if not, it'll just get worse. So that usually happens after buffing them out with a little buffer. For me anyway. So the next thing that I do after this is I'm going to start pushing back my cuticles. But before I do that, I need some cuticle oil. So again, handy dandy cuticle oil that you can get over at Sally. Go through this stuff so much. And all I do is just bring it, oops, not that one. Bring it all around. Just going to let that one sit there on all my fingers. Sometimes I just do it really quickly, like that. And here. Doesn't need to be perfect. It's just to kind of moisturize them, get them a little bit soft. Because what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to push them back. So then after that, what I do is I just massage the oil into my cuticle. More into my cuticle than on my nail. Because that's what we're concentrating on, right? The cuticle. So I'm just going to rub that into all my nails very quickly. Okay, and right about now, as I was done doing most of my nails, except for this one again, I'm going to come back to this one here in just a moment. They look a little shiny, they look a little better. What I'm going to need to do now is use this cuticle pusher. This is one that I really love because of the way it's angled. It's really great about the angle. It also has this other piece here, and this is good for getting, you know, in the corners and scratching bad cuticles out. So, but really all I use is just this side. So what I'm going to do here is just gently push back my cuticle, and just like that, on all my nails. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this on all my nails, and when I'm done, I'll show y'all the final results. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I finished up this nail, so you can see the little patch there. I filed it down, cleaned it up, but it's fairly smooth. When I start putting my polish over it, you're not even going to be able to tell that it's there. So after I put the oil and pushed back my cuticles, what I did was I went and I washed my hands with a little nail brush to get everything all out from the creases in here. And then I applied a base coat, and I use Setch Feet base coat right now. This is what I'm currently using. I like it a lot. It dries pretty quick, and I'm able to go ahead and start a simple manicure. So what I'm going to put on is this O.P.I, and this is called You Calling Me a Lyre. This is what I'm going to go ahead and put on, since I usually put something a little bit more brighter, for example, the new China Glaze neon colors, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of tone it down just a little bit right before I feel like putting those things on, those bright colors. very quickly here, what I'm just going to do is probably apply a coat or two of this. I really don't have a special technique. I know there's lots of techniques to applying polish. I just put it on until it's on there. So you can see here, I get some on my skin. What I do is I use this orange stick and I clean it up. That kind of helps me a little bit. If it gets really messy, like if I'm doing another type of nail manicure, I usually use a little brush. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue further here with this color, and we'll see the end result. Okay, so I went ahead and I put 2 coats of the O.P.I polish, and this is the final result. After my 2 coats, I also put a top coat, which currently I'm using Such Feet top coat. Very fast dry, quick dry top coat. Works very well. And after my manicure is dry, which it's still wet, what I do after that is I use a very good moisturizer. Currently I'm using Burt's Bees. It's an almond milk hand cream. It's very thick, it's very good, it absorbs very nicely into the hands. So not only will your nails and cuticles look really good, but your hands will be nice and soft too. Just mess that up. You see that? Just going to kind of smooth that out. It happens, but it doesn't look too bad. What I'll do to cover that up once again is put another top coat, and it'll be all good to go. Well, if y'all have any questions, please comment down below, and if you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel. I want to thank y'all for watching today.